I would like to acknowledge the presence of the Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit, here in the House tonight, and the Honorable Lady Catherine Daniel, the exiting Parliament for the Colihaut constituency, Honorable Vince Henderson, Ian Douglas, Cozier Frederick, and candidates Fenella Wenham, Roland Rui, Miriam Blanchard, Lindsay Frank, and other party officials, and the people of Colihaut, Dublin, and Bioche, and Leverite. It is indeed such a great honor to be the Labour Party candidate in this constituency. You, the people of the Colihaut, Dublin, and Bioche, as well as the Honorable Prime Minister, has put a lot of faith in me, and I promise not to let you down. I am now here reporting for duty and willing and ready to serve you. Labour! Many of you might have asked, why would a guy just walk away from a very good job, with a good salary, working in a field that he has studied for at the highest level, and frankly, which I actually liked. So why would I just walk away from a job like that? The answer might not seem hard, but it is really not. The answer to me was very simple. I simply could not resist your call. The call to serve and provide you with that highest quality of representation that you, the people of Colihaut, Dublin, and Bioche, deserve. The Colihaut and Dublin and Bioche constituency is not a up-for-grabs constituency. This is Labour territory. Nobody can come here with red in Colihaut. Right? No party stand a chance here. And while we're at it, I want to give a special shout out to the village of Bioche. Bioche is one of the very few villages that has always voted Labour. Bioche is the only the village in this constituency that my dad won. I have a special little place in my heart for Bioche. I love you, Bioche. We in the Colihaut constituency are a small community. We are the little man, and therefore we represent the very core of who the Labour Party was created, who the Labour Party stands for. We are what the Labour Party was put in place to serve. And I am here to make sure that you, the people of Colihaut, Dublin, and Bioche, are very well served. Of course, despite the recent passing of Hurricane Maria, and then quickly followed by 3 years of a pandemic, the Labour Party delivered for the Colihaut, Dublin, and Bioche constituency. In Dublin, we repaired roads, we replaced a bridge that was washed away by Hurricane Maria. We also restarted work on the pavilion and assisted with the construction of the fisheries complex. In Bioche, we brought water to the residents of Paradise Hill and repaired the fisherman's jetty. In Colihaut, we constructed a health center, and we also constructed a river wall that would be protecting at least half of the village from the raging river during flooding times. So the Labour Party has been here. Despite what is happening internationally, the Labour Party has been here representing and serving the people of Colihaut. But tonight we are here to look forward. Tonight we are going to focus on the future. I will therefore touch on some major issues where we have identified the need for improvement in Colihaut, Dublin, and Bioche. We see the need for major improvements in our education system here in Colihaut. But for too many years, I have looked at the results coming out of our common entrance, CXC, state colleges, and so on. And for too many years, I have been very disappointed with the results. Okay? I just wonder, why exactly it is that our students seem to be performing well below the national average. And this is something that has troubled me, and this is one of the things that I really think that we need to address. We have identified the need to create a learning center within a multi-purpose community center in Colihaut and in Dublin. Now, these learning centers will be well equipped. They will have laptops, good air conditioning, they will have all the tools necessary for learning. And we will also put in 2 adults to supervise the students while they are at the learning center. So students from all the different levels of school, be it secondary school, college, or university, could come to that learning center after school hours where they could be able to do their homework, do assignments, do their SBAs, and they would be able to get expert supervision. We would bring in some tutors where necessary to help with the special SBAs. So what we're looking to do is to give that additional support to our students. That additional support that because maybe we have a little lower income, we might not be able to afford private tutoring. No, the same kind of a tutoring that the better off students might be able to afford, that giving them that little edge over us. What we're looking to do is take that away. We're looking to give our students, regardless of income level, the same opportunities to succeed that the higher income level students have. We will also ensure that our schools are very well equipped. They have to have all the proper learning tools, and we have to have good teachers that care about the performance of the students. And then the final piece of it is we need to ensure that the home support for our children is there. Okay? You do not have to be a math major or physics major to help your child at home. You can just simply go in and check on them to see that, okay, you are doing your homework, show me what you have done. We will work closely with the adult education to bring in parenting classes here in Colihaut, Dublin, and Biosh. Classes that will help our parents become better parents, better support systems for our children. These various dimensions, the different levels of support is what we will look to give our students that will then elevate the performance to that at not just average, but above the average national level. And this is something that we believe will work and it must work. Another issue we have with our education system in CDB is that a lot of our students after college, they do not seem to go on to get that higher education. They do not get good access to scholarships. Even when there are scholarships available, like those being offered by our friends China, or Morocco, or Cuba, it seems that the students here in the constituency, they are not aware of it. So our PAL rep office will be, our parliamentary office will be making sure that we keep tabs on what is going on. Okay, we will have the names of all people looking to further their education. We will scan the internet, we will do what is necessary. We will identify the scholarship opportunities. We will help the students fill out the forms. We will make sure that we do all what we can do to provide that support so that they are not left out, so that our students can get that higher education, the scholarships that is available and that is being granted everywhere else around the island. Now, in our learning center, we will also include a space where the community events might be hosted. For example, our Dublin flamboyant dancers do not have to worry about rain wetting them when they need to practice or hold a little show for the village. They will be able to practice and then put on a show in the safety and security of the multi-purpose community center. While saying that, I just want to big up our cultural icon, Miss Rosette Bertrand, and our Miss Wop Duet, Miss Nika Shadow Muransi, both hailing from the beautiful village of Dublin, the cultural center of the West. You know, when I was a little boy, during the Feast of St. Peter, our senior folks used to dress up in their nice Wop Duet, put on their good dandan, and they would go to church with their fruits and their fish and so on. And then, they would make the thing exciting. And later in the day, we would all look forward to our good community dances, where we could get a little groove on and have some fun. People from all over the country came to our Feast of St. Peter. That has disappeared. We must bring that back. Okay? Whilst we're on the Feast of St. Peter, we also have to remember the fish night at Biosh. I mean, we all know that whenever you want excellent fish, you go to a Biosh fish night. We haven't seen that in a long time. That too, we must bring back. Now, in terms of, as we're speaking about fishing, we need a revival. We need a greater revival of the fishing industry in the Colihaut constituency. The conch shell must once again blow on our shores, announcing the return of our fishermen, bringing home the day's catch. The Dominica Labour Party will continue to provide the strongest support to our fishermen here in Colihaut, Dublin, and Biosh. We already have plans in place to fix up our fisheries complex in Biosh. We will also support the Dublin Fisheries Cooperative and assist them in completing the marvelous job that has already been done on the fisheries building. Labour! Do you know that right here in Colihaut, we produce some of the best fishing boats you can find anywhere in the Caribbean? The Dominica Labour Party government will help our local boat builders increase their boat building efficiency and capacity. Of course, in return, we will probably ask them to employ a couple guys, and in turn, we will also ask them to sell the boats at the minimum price to our fishermen. So that way, we can foster economic activity and, increase that cycle of economic growth right here within the constituency. We help you, you create employment, you make the cost of our fishermen's supplies and materials and lower, so that will increase economic activity, that will increase the overall well-being of our people in the constituency. For our farmers, we will continue to support you. We will ensure that, first of all, our farmers get registered and that they will then be able to access the various supports that are provided by the government. Support, for example, like a reduction in price of fertilizers and other things. We will continue to maintain the feeder roads, clear the edges, and so on. Our great NEP team that we love dearly, they will be going up to the gardens regularly enough to ensure that the roads are well cleared and that this passage is very safe so that you can get to and from your gardens safely. Labour? Labour rights. You know how our Prime Minister just like to give out those houses. He takes pleasure in handing over those keys and looking into the eyes of those new homeowners. People that never thought ever they would own their own home because they just could not afford it at no time. Constituents, we have heard your call for additional housing relief in CDB. Our housing revolution will continue here in Colihaut, Dublin, and Biosh. This Labour government will continue what has already been begun at Platmapier. Plans are already in place to build the downstairs of the houses that are already built. Furthermore, we are also planning to build additional units up at Platmapier, houses that will be handed over to our most in-need constituents. My Biosh family, your time is here. This Labour government will deliver that sewage relief that you so badly need. I believe that to every problem, there is a solution. And the Labour Party will deliver that solution. It is not right, it can never be right that in 2023, a child have to grow up in a home and do not know what it is to have a flushing toilet. That cannot be right, and the Labour Party will take care of that. We will create the space to build that sewerage system. We will ensure that every home in Biosh can and will have a flushing toilet by the end of this government's term. And whilst we're on the topic of Biosh, Biosh is a little bit dark sometimes. We need to light up Biosh. You know? If you have a little bad eyes in the night and you're walking around Biosh, it's easy to bounce your toe right now. You know, last year, the Prime Minister, in his great wisdom, as usual, saw it fit to repurchase the controlling shares of the Domlec. So we can kindly ask Domlec to please put some more light posts in Biosh for us, please. We need to light up Biosh. And finally, I will touch on the sports in Colihaut, Dublin, and Biosh. We all know of our Dublin football team, one of the very best in the whole of Dominica. You do know that this little village has produced a total of 9 footballers and 10 national cricketers, 3 of whom have made it as far as the West Indies senior team. Right here in Colihaut, we have produced no less than 12 national cricketers, including the great Lockhart Sebastian, Balti Watt, and the late Graveney Severin, one of our Colihaut boys who have succumbed to the COVID-19 pandemic in the United States last year, and he's dearly missed. So, we have a very strong sporting culture here in Colihaut, Dublin, and Biosh. It is therefore only right that we support and continue to promote our sports, and that is exactly what the Labour Party intends to do. In Dublin, we will complete the construction of the pavilion, get our lights working again, and return Premier League football to Dublin. That way, we can help our local shops and bars get a little money when the visiting team bring their supporters down with them. In Colihaut, we must protect our playing field, the very field that you're standing on right now. We need to put a river wall to ensure that every time the river overflows, the whole place does not become a boulder field. So we will protect the playing field, we will resurface it, we will bring in some regulation-sized goalposts, we will fix our basketball court, our washroom facilities, and we will put some lights on the field. We are bringing sports back to CDB. You see, the power of sports goes beyond just young people taking a sweat. Sporting activities bring communities together. Now, this is a time when enemies can come together and support one common cause, one team. So if you can come together to support a team, then it goes to reason that you can come together to support other causes that where you have the same interests. And this is how communities become closely knit. This is how we get a strong community, when we are all on the same page, supporting the same thing, working towards a common cause. So sports is more than just a thing for sweat. Sports brings communities together, it holds it together, and it strengthens it. In closing, let me remind all of you that we're halfway through November already. And so December 6th is really just around the corner. I need each of you to make sure that we encourage all our Labour supporters, or everyone in the Labour Party family, to head to the polls on December 6th. Put that cross down. We need to send a resounding message to the world that this is a Labour country. Let us return the Labour Party to the government. Let us return our Prime Minister Roosevelt's carrot. Labour! 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 We promise.